So I just finished the first episode of Occultic 9. And I gotta say, as a series that I have been waiting for to air since I found out about it, because I know it's slightly related to Steins Gate, I was interested in the series. I wanted to sit down and watch this series. It was something I was looking forward to airing. When I saw the title, when I saw the link to Steins Gate, because the title's very similar, I'm like, yo, I gotta sit down, I gotta watch this first episode, it's probably gonna be fucking awesome. So, I sat down, watched the first episode, finished the episode, and I'm like, yeah. Now, you're probably all wondering, if you have yet to watch the episode, why am I acting like I am right now? Well, I found out after being a little bit curious. I was very curious, because when I watched the first episode, I know a lot of anime I've seen in the past. Sometimes they do a lot of introductions, and you just won't understand the plot. That's just how it is. How an anime first starts, like when the first episode comes out, you shouldn't expect to understand everything that's thrown on to the table. Like, you're like, I don't understand this, I don't understand this. You know, you're expected to understand that. You won't have everything answered on the first episode, because it's the first fucking episode. So I'm kind of used to that. But it's another thing that when you watch the first episode, and it was literally so fast-paced, like, okay, I've said fast-paced before, but the fast pace of this episode was so fast. The narrative of the episode was just so bad, I couldn't even literally keep up. When I was reading the subtitles, I barely kept up. And I have read anime for a majority of my life, or watched anime, not read, but I guess read subtitles. I've watched anime for a majority of my life, and I've never really had any trouble besides the Monogatari series of keeping up. And this was like the next time after, I'm like, what the fuck? And it wasn't just Monogatari with its, I guess, very awesome dialogue it gives. This was completely different. This wasn't to that level of writing with Monogatari, with that great writing and fast pace and stuff. No. This first episode adapted one volume. Now, not one manga volume, not one chapter, not 5 chapters. This episode adapted one light novel volume. FYI, that's pretty fucking big. That's pretty fucking big. That is really fucking big. Like, one volume alone, one light novel volume alone, depending on the pacing of a studio and what they want to do with it, that can be adapted into 4, maybe 5, maybe even 6 episodes, depending on how you handle it. But this episode compressed an entire book into one episode, 24 minutes long. That's a lot of fucking dialogue and introduction in one fucking episode. And so I was just confused, like, why couldn't I really understand the series? Was I so brain dead at the time when I was sitting here trying to watch it? I was just stupid. I'm like, I can't really understand. I rewatched it to get a better understanding, but even after, I'm like, this is still, it's done so bad. The narrative is just so bad. You can't keep up with it because the way the characters have this fluff to their dialogue and like it's pointless information, and then you have this serious information in between. You don't know how to separate the two without watching it like 4 times. You're like, what the hell? Now, don't get me wrong, I love watching series over again to get a better picture of an anime. I love that. That's what I did with ReZero. What I do with a lot of series. What I do when I reread, like, manga series, like Berserk. I love getting a better understanding of, the chapters or, the volumes. I'm fine with that. I'm very fine with having to rewatch something to get a better understanding or appreciation for the said series. For instance, like Ava, what I've been watching recently. The series overall, though, the first episode, just adapting one volume into one episode literally destroyed any first impressions I think majority could have towards this series, because I honestly, I can't really say after finishing the episode I really care about the series right now. Like, all my hype I had for the series is just literally been crushed. Literally been fucking crushed by how depressing and disappointing this episode was. Now, another thing to talk about, too, is that apparently, since we went through one light novel volume, there's only a total of 2 and a 3rd volume that was canceled. So let me rephrase that once again. So, this first episode adapted an entire single volume of the light novel. There's only 3 light novel volumes currently we are aware of. You have 2 that have been released, and 1 apparently has been canceled according to my understanding. So, what this means is that since the 3rd one was canceled, we just adapted the first fucking volume in the first episode. That means the 2nd volume is gonna have to carry us through the remainder of the series, and then they're gonna have to go anime original or something. You know what I like to call that? You know what I like to call that? I like to call that a good case of GG. That's what I like to call that. I like to call that a very good case of G fucking G. Enough said. Enough said. Now, getting off of that, let's talk about one thing that really disturbed me with this episode, and usually I can ignore it, because I've seen it constantly in anime and manga, and it's something you just grow accustomed to, and you just can fucking ignore it. But the way it was done in this, especially with the obnoxious writing and the narrative of the first episode, it just made it so much more painful. The main female character, her boobs, her opie, just, no. Like, okay, I have no problem, okay? I mean, with size of opie just being big, okay? But they're so fucking large that it's so distracting, and it's just like, it's annoying. It's really fucking annoying. Like, how is she able to function? Like, her anatomy is so fucked up. Like, how is she able to even walk with boobs that large? Like, we saw some spiritual shit in this episode, but there's something going on with her breasts. There's something seriously going on with her breasts. Like, there's some invading spirits or something that's inside there, because I'm like, what the hell is that on her chest? They're just too large. Sorry, too fucking large. Now, the main character. Don't like him. I don't like the main character. Now, the reason for this is because of how, I guess his actions he did in this episode. When he grabbed the knife at the end, I was not a fan of that. I was not a fan of that. I was just like, oh, how fucking stupid do you have to be to grab a fucking knife off a person's fucking desk? And you know when he grabbed it, he felt blood. He felt some liquid slime shit. You know he felt it. But he still kept jabbing around. I'm like, oh my god, this man is brain dead. This man is stupid. This man is really fucking stupid. Too bad, not every series can be written like, ReZero, with the character understanding their mistakes. But yeah, anyways, that really made me kind of disgusted with that. Like, when I saw the main character do that, I'm like, no. So, first episode of Occultic 9, I'm on the fence, okay? I'm not gonna say I'm done with this series. I'm not gonna say I'm happy. Oh, hell no, I'm not happy with the series. But I'm not done. But I'm on the fence with it. I'm teetering more towards the drop side because of what this episode did. But I'm curious on how they're going to handle it for the remainder of the series because of what they did with the first episode. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if it becomes more comprehensible. We'll see. But first episode overall, just, it was horrid. It was bad in my opinion. It was just really bad. If you liked it, fine. If you liked it, that's fine by me. You have all rights to like it. But personally to me, pacing and all that, no. I didn't even enjoy the comedy. Comedy, subjective as always. Didn't enjoy the comedy. Didn't like the way the narrative is done. No. So, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.